Currently, WFP provides daily nutritious meals to 825,000 children in 788 primary and 140 pre-primary schools across the country. Since 2022, it has been implementing a homegrown school feeding approach that sources fresh food from over 35,000 smallholder farmers, supporting local economies while nourishing students. WFP is also providing technical support to the government to scale up the national school feeding program. As part of the El Niño response, the organization extended its school meal program as emergency support to over 343,700 children and facilitated the treatment of moderate acute malnutrition for 39,700 children, pregnant and breastfeeding women, people living with HIV, and tuberculosis patients. At Suza Primary School in Kasungu, volunteer Kezea Kwata describes the homegrown school feeding program as a game changer.
We were cooking the porridge, but for few periods. With the coming of WFP, learners turn up has improved, and those who drop out of school are going back to school. And local farmers are also doing well through the school feeding program as WFP buy the goods from them.
In Mzimba North, traditional leader Inkosana Sondwani Nlema says the initiative has increased community participation in supporting children's welfare.
We had a meeting with my fellow chiefs and the community to discuss on what we should do to have a school feeding program on our own. So the coming in of WFP improved our mission to harness with happiness the project. That's why it is doing well.
Kasungu District Council's Food and Nutrition Officer, Benedicto Chingoli, hails the program, claiming there has been a rise in school attendance and improved academic performance among learners.
Indeed, there is a good connection between nutrition and school with the coming in of homegrown school feeding program, in the sense that the coming in of this program has improved the attendance of learners in classes as well as performance of schools who are in this program. They are able to perform well when it comes to examinations. For example, in Kasungu, they have even shared with us that they have improved from 82% to 85%, which is a good development.
In recent developments, Malawi and Italy, through the WFP, signed an MOU worth $8.28 billion to expand homegrown school feeding programs in Chikwawa district. Italy's Special Envoy for Food Security, Stefan Gatti, says the partnership aims to promote improved learning outcomes while helping communities recover from climate shocks.
The school meals, Italy is part of the International School Meal Coalition, and we support strongly all actors that work. Here we have the World Food Programme together with Save the Children and the government. Malawi with the Minister, obviously, of Education that was here. This is an important field. As you know, Italy is a country of food. We produce and sell food throughout the world. For 70 billion euros per year, we export food, and so for us, food is essential.
In Kota Kota, the government of Iceland launched a homegrown school meals initiative targeting over 10 primary schools. Iceland's head of mission, David Janusson, said the program supports both school children and local farmers while promoting sustainable food systems.
I think our experience has been very good. Of course, we are collaborating with the government and with the World Food Programme that are delivering very good quality programs. We have seen that it really benefits the farmers, and also we are now thinking more in terms of the climate resilience also. In the schools, we have always seen improved access and improved learning situation. And there was actually a study done last year by the World Food Programme that demonstrated these results quite well.
The European Union, EU, is also a key partner in the homegrown school feeding initiative under the Tsogolola Tanzi 2 project. The EU's head of cooperation, George Dura, says the aim of the initiative is to improve nutrition, boost school attendance, and also ensure that children receive locally sourced nutritious meals.
So the EU has been a long-standing partner in the school feeding program in Malawi. We've been supporting the government in its efforts to bring nutritious and wholesome and diversified food to children since almost 10 years now. We'd like to see healthy children, that no child is left behind and hungry, that the parents do not have to choose between sending their children to school or feeding them.
WFP Director General Hyung Joon Lim says they're committed to fighting hunger through sustainable programs.
Yeah, number one is really important, the partnership, cooperation, leading by government and also, with a good donor like EU and WFP as an implementation partner. We have worked together, and government has a vision of universal education covering 100%, and we are still not covering enough. So with the expanded partnership with the donors and government and WFP, we will be helping, supporting the government and people.
Minister of Basic and Secondary Education Mararito Kambaua Wirima says the government is committed to achieving universal school feeding, which currently covers 43% of learners. Wirima also commends WFP's continued support in the education sector.
I'm very grateful to the people of Iceland for gifting us with a lot of money, close to $2 million pumping into the school meals program. And this is particularly for the district of Kota, where the funds will make sure that some 10 or so primary schools are actually receiving meals at school in a day, especially breakfast meals, nutritious meals, not just any meal. This sits well with the government because at the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, we actually have a 5-strand policy or 5-strand strategy that is seeking to fix the foundation of education, the foundation of learning, which is now shaky. And in those 5 strands, one of the key components is school meals feeding, a school meals program. So currently, we as government, we are only managing to reach out 43% of our learners. While in this strategy, it's important that we actually have a universal feeding program whereby universally we are able to target or we are able to meet all our students, all 100% of our schools having their learners, having their students in the public primary schools, having a school meal in the morning, having a hot breakfast meal in the morning.
Minister of Gender, Community Development and Social Welfare, Jin Sendeza, acknowledged the critical role of development partners like WFP in complementing government efforts to improve child welfare.
The sustainability of this program needs to be taken care of by ourselves, the communities themselves, because we have seen that the program started 2 years ago and it will be ending in 2026. So what we want to see is the continuation of this program, this phase, because if the partners leave this place, we need to have a way on how to sustain the homegrown school feeding program.
Executive Director for the Center for Youth Empowerment and Civic Education, CSA, Lakembewe, says that relying solely on donor-funded feeding programs risks disruption if donor fatigue sets in. He called for stronger local ownership and sustainability strategies.
You see, the motivation in the porridge is huge in the sense that much as the learner are motivated to go to school to eat porridge, but also they are encouraged to work hard to avoid unnecessary absenteeism. As such, I would really recommend that the government should indeed invest a lot in ensuring that the school feeding program has rolled out in many schools in Malawi if we are to meet the sustainable development goal that focuses on education.
Child rights activist Memoringosi Chisenga urged the government to prioritize the full implementation of a universal homegrown school feeding program.
Most of our children in community areas are coming from homes that they don't even eat anything, and some of them are malnourished because they lack food. So having a feeding program in school is very key, actually, towards the children that can be active in school and also children that are healthy. So we really need to promote it, and we really need to make sure that it's being implemented in the right way. We need to be able to reach to such areas in schools where we know that most of the children are vulnerable to hunger, they are vulnerable to poverty, and they are not eating well.
In the face of hunger and climate-related challenges, some families are forced to resort to negative coping strategies, including withdrawing children from school for labor. Programs like the WFP School Feeding Initiative offer a lifeline, ensuring that children, especially from food-insecure households, stay in school and learn. The government and its partners must continue to strengthen and expand sustainable school feeding programs nationwide to secure a brighter future for Malawi's children. Timveni.